When did you realize your teacher was a psychopath? My teacher drove a girl to sewer slide, so I taught my entire class how to cheat on her tests. Ms. Huang treated our chemistry class like a maximum security prison. Anyone who took more than 3 minutes in the bathroom had to explain their bowel movements to the entire class. I'm not kidding. She made Archie describe his IBS symptoms for 10 minutes straight while we all sat there wanting to die. Your generation thinks anxiety is a personality trait, she'd say, adjusting her glasses that made her look like an evil librarian who definitely has bodies in her basement. In my day, we called it being pathetic. But nothing, and I mean nothing, prepared us for the Wednesday that broke our class forever. She was doing one of her random bag checks, which somehow always targeted the kids with documented mental health issues, but whatever. When she got to Amelia's backpack, she found folded papers in her planner, private therapy notes, like private, stuff about Amelia's anxiety meds, her dad's abuse, things that would make you want to give that girl a hug and fight anyone who looked at her wrong. You know what this psychopath did? She photographed every single page. Ooh, interesting reading material, Ms. Huang said, uploading them to our class portal like she was sharing a meme. Everyone should see what accommodations really look like. Just fancy excuses for being weak. She literally posted Amelia's deepest trauma for 24 teenagers to read like it was this week's chemistry homework. Amelia ran out of the room sobbing. She didn't come back the next day, or the next. That night, I found out from her best friend that Amelia had attempted. I'm not going to finish that sentence because you already know. Amelia's mom tried to file a complaint. Turns out Ms. Huang's brother was the school board president. The complaint mysteriously got lost, just like the 12 other complaints from the past 5 years. I sat there staring at my straight A transcript feeling like absolute garbage. Here I was, coasting through tests while this woman was literally driving my classmates to the edge. At 2 a.m., I sent a text to our class group chat that would either make me a hero or get me expelled. I'm done watching this woman destroy us. From now on, I'll do all the studying. You guys just need to learn how to copy my answers without getting caught. Archie immediately replied, bro, that's literally cheating. We could get expelled. Amelia almost died, I typed back. This isn't about grades anymore. The next day, 23 students showed up to Archie's garage. Everyone except Brandon, who was so far up Ms. Huang's app, he could tell you what she had for breakfast. Here's the plan, I said, feeling like I was in a heist movie. I'll study everything. Every formula, every concept, every stupid fact she might test us on. You just need to learn sign language. Touching your nose means A, ear is B, chin is C. To her, it'll look like we're just anxious kids fidgeting. We met every night after school. I taught them hand signals that looked like nervous habits. And 2 weeks later, Amelia came back. Quieter, thinner, but breathing. When she walked in and saw the entire class practicing our anxiety movements, she started crying. But like, the good kind. We got you, Archie told her, and he meant it. A month later, we had our midterm. Ms. Huang went full dictator mode. Clear bags only, assigned seats, hands visible at all times. I've noticed some suspicious behavior, she announced, death staring our group. Today we'll see who actually knows chemistry and who's just pretending. I'd been awake for 72 hours straight. My blood was basically Red Bull at that point. But I knew every possible question she could ask because I'd memorized her last 5 years of tests that former students had uploaded online. The test was designed by Satan himself. Questions jumped around like a crackhead at a rave, but I knew every answer. I started broadcasting through our system. A nose touch here, an ear scratch there. The entire class moved in subtle synchronization like we were in a really boring flash mob. Ms. Huang was actually filming us, thinking she was documenting a mass anxiety attack for her research paper. 90 minutes later, I transmitted every answer. Even kids who usually got D's turned in their papers with the confidence of someone who just found out their ex got fat. Brandon deliberately failed, writing stuff like mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell for every answer. Monday's results broke Ms. Huang's brain. 22 students scored above 90%. The class average went from 61% to 94%. This is impossible, she screamed, pulling up her footage on the projector. Look at these synchronized movements. This is clearly cheating. I raised my hand, trying not to smile. Those are just anxiety coping techniques based on sign language. We can get an interpreter to verify that if you want. Her face went from red to white faster than when you accidentally like your crush's photo from 2019. Archie stood up slowly, placing his phone on the desk. I've been recording our conversations for 3 years. Every time you gave me test answers. Every time you told me exactly what to study while others failed. The room exploded. Amelia's parents already had a lawyer building a case. Other teachers started coming forward with stories about Ms. Huang going back decades. By Wednesday, she was done. I thought we'd won. Life was good. Amelia was getting help. Everyone passed chemistry. And Ms. Huang was probably crying into her collection of red pens. Then my parents got a call that made my blood freeze. Child Protective Services. Someone had reported that I was being forced to study excessively and showing signs of abuse. The investigator mentioned they'd received detailed documentation from a concerned teacher about my dangerous sleep deprivation and cult-like influence over other students. I knew exactly who made that call. Full story on channel, link below.